Hello and welcome to Math 200 Online Statistics at Cañada College. My name is Lapuz. In this video, we will do a homework problem from section 5.2. We have an accompanying table that describes the roadworthiness test of cars that are 3 years old. The random variable x represents the number of cars that failed among 6 that were tested for roadworthiness. We want the mean and standard deviation. Here's our data set. Let us copy and paste it onto our Google Sheets. I have the formula for the mean and the standard deviation ready on this sheet, so we can apply this formula. These formulas are really great with Google Sheets or any spreadsheet. So let's take advantage of the power of a spreadsheet. The first formula, mu, is asking us to multiply x times p of x. Let's make another column here and label it x times p of x. And let's insert a formula by typing equals. We will click on the first x value and the multiplication sign, and we'll click on the first p of x value. We'll press enter and we have the first value for x times p of x. Now let us click on that cell, grab this cell by the lower right hand corner, click and drag down, and this will automatically compute the other products of x times p of x. That is all we need in the parentheses. Now we will add them up to get our mu value. And the way to add is to say equals and then sum, open parentheses. We'll click and drag the range of values that we want to add up, close the parentheses, and return. So we have 1.467. Let's put that into our answer. And they want us to round off to 1 decimal place. So 1 decimal place is the 4. The number next to it is bigger than 5. So let us increase that number to 5. Now we have 1.5. Next is the standard deviation. The formula for the standard deviation asks us to compute x minus mu quantity squared first. We can do this in 2 steps or just 1 step. X minus mu quantity squared is going to be my label for this column. Now I want to insert a formula. I will say equals. I have the x values in the first column. Well, let's put a parentheses first. Click on the first x value in the first column and subtract. My mu is 1.467. We'll close the parentheses. We'll do the caret for the power and square it. Our first x minus mu quantity squared value is 2.152. Let's click on that cell and grab it by the lower right hand corner, drag it down, and now we have the x minus mu quantity squared values for all of them. Our next step is to take this x minus mu quantity squared value and then multiply it by p. So let us create another column where we're going to multiply the x minus mu quantity squared value times p of x. So for this first one, we'll say equals, we'll click on the x minus mu quantity squared value, and we'll use the multiplication symbol and multiply times p of x. The first p of x value is in column B. We'll click on that and hit enter. Now we want to follow that same formula all the way down for all the values, and now we have a list of x minus mu quantity squared times p of x. After that, we want to add them all up, so let us create a label to say this is the sum of x minus mu quantity squared times p of x. This looks like it's a little long. Let's put it on this side. And the formula for that will be equals, since we're just adding them all up, we'll use the sum formula. We'll click and drag the values that we want to add up and hit enter. So all this stuff is happening underneath the square root, and to find our sigma, our standard deviation, we want to take the square root of this number, 1.5829. We'll say equals, and then the square root formula in Excel and Sheets is SQRT. Open parentheses, we'll click on the value that we want the square root of, close parentheses, and we get this number, 1.258. Let's take that to our answer, and they want us to round to one decimal place. So the first decimal place is 2, the number next to it is 5, that's 5 or larger, so we're going to add 1 to 2 and we get 1.3. Alright, I hope that helps.